Hey buff dudes and girls, we're here in the gym with Big Louie. Now Lewis over here, he's going to be joining us at the bulking program. But before we start in that, we're going to be going over some of the essentials in lifting. It's going to be the Golden 5. And today we're going to be starting with squats. Now Lewis over here, you've gained about, what, 3 feet in the last year or so?
Yeah.
You're about 6'2". He's a $160 and he's 17 years old. So this is a perfect time to start. Hormones are going crazy, the body's ready to grow. But you want to make sure you're performing these exercises properly. So today we're going to be going over the form and squats. And Lewis over here plays a lot of sports. So these are some of the best exercises you can do in performing in sports and also in the gym. So we're going to go through squats right now, Lewis. I want to get you in just a squat form right now. So if you want to just step here in the squat rack around here, just face the mirror. Sometimes it's good to face yourself so you can kind of see your knee angle and everything. And I want you to just squat straight down, just like go. Good. And try to get that hip crease below the knee. So get a bit lower if you can. Keep going, keep going. Now this is the difficult part right here, is when you're a taller person, your limb length here is going to be pretty long, so it's going to take a little bit more effort to get in that low position. But as you can see, the back is straight, chin's neutral. It's a pretty good position. He's collapsing a little bit in his feet here, so you really want to try to push your knees outward, both knees out like that. So in order to do that, we're going to be training the glutes a little bit more with this band. So Lewis, if you want to go ahead and put this, kind of put it on like you're putting on underwear, and put it right above your knee there. It's going to feel pretty tight there. Yeah, so it's going to want to pull your knees in. But what you're going to be doing is as you squat down, you're going to be pushing your knees out. So as you squat down, push your knees out here, get your feet in about a comfortable position, 12 degrees or so out, and let those knees follow right in line with those toes. So as you squat down, push outward. There you go, good. So immediately now, you're training your glutes to fire up to make sure those knees are always going to be tracking in line perfectly with your feet there. That's excellent. So go ahead and get back up, press up, good. We'll get you back down. We'll get you a couple reps here just to get you used to that. Excellent. So what you want that external rotation in your knee joint or in your leg joint rather than the internal. So in the internal, you'll see the knees collapse, especially if you're going really heavy and your glutes aren't trained properly. So when you squat down, you always want to push those knees out to help that external rotation.
So
and
as I'm going down, just lift out?
Exactly, exactly. So that's going to create torque in the joint, and it's going to get a stronger squat. There we go.
And is it bad if my knees come together like that when I go up?
When you go up, as you come together, that's fine. As long as you're not collapsing in your feet here. Just kind of keep them outside still a little bit to keep the tension in there. And what you do is you come to the top position, extend your hips and squeeze your glutes. And that's really going to help stabilize you at the top position. Excellent. Now it's not acid grass yet, but that's what we're working on. So go ahead and take that band off. So now that you got kind of a feeling for it, you can really get those knees out. We're gonna get you in some deeper squats with some goblet squats here to get you warmed up a bit more. And so with this one here, you're just be holding the kettlebell by the horns here, right under the chin. Same position, feet slightly turned outside, push the hips back, dip down, and we're gonna try to get you to sit all the way down so those hips are almost in between the legs there.
Okay.
And having that weight right there is going to help push you down, and also it's not going to want you to collapse your chest in. You're going to want to hold it nice and high. So go ahead, same knees out. There we go. Yep. Bring those arms between the legs and gently push out, just like so. Good. That'll help open the hips up a bit. And so before you do any kind of heavy squatting, this is always a good position to practice. So it's just the full squat, and you can either do it with a kettlebell, or you can just do a body weight here and just gently push out, but it kind of gets you trained to try to keep that chest up and also get those hips all the way down the floor there.
Okay.
So now that you got that, we're gonna get you on the barbell, and now you're just gonna do, of course, the back squat. And we're gonna get the positioning on where to put the barbell too. So if you wanna walk up here, there we go, okay. So we're gonna do a high bar squat. So it's just gonna be just right at the upper trap area there, good. You're gonna gently, push it against yourself with your hands, the bar, so it's nice and stable. So you're gonna go ahead and unrack it and lift off. There we go. So exact same position as you did before. Yeah, perfect. And let's see, go ahead and get in a full squat there with that bar, good. Make sure those heels are firmly planted on the floor too. So push the hips back, keep those heels up, there we go, good. Heels on the floor. Get those knees nice and wide. So the more you open your knees up, the more that'll open the hips up so that way you can squat lower.
Okay.
That's it, that's better, good. Heels firmly planted, here we go. That's it, good. And don't expect to get all the way and do a deep squat yet. So you're just still kind of warming up here, Lewis.
Okay.
And just kind of warm up into it, yep. You're hitting about parallel, which is good. So as long as you're getting that proper form, the knees in the right position, the toes, yep. Nice flat back, neutral chin. There you go, Lewis. Perfect. Go ahead and rack that. How's that feel?
Good.
Yeah, any questions?
No.
Okay.
Very simple.
So what happens is, you'll probably feel some tightness. Do you feel any tightness anywhere, especially when you're getting a little bit lower?
Right here, mostly.
A little bit more in the adductors there, so the inner thigh area. So once you start feeling tightness as you're squatting down, this is kind of some signs showing, you know, what areas you need to work on. So your adductors are maybe a little bit tight. I can see that, you know, once you kind of start getting lower than parallel, your heels start to pick up slightly. So it could be overly tightness in the hamstrings. This is all kind of normal stuff, especially because you're involved in sports, you're so active.
Yeah.
And you probably don't do a lot of stretching or mobility stuff, do you?
Yeah, no.
Okay. So that's one thing is, whenever you're doing squats, you want to start with some mobility, some warm-ups. You know, we didn't do a lot today just because we were going over some form and function. But as you progress and as you put more weight on, you'll really want to warm up, get mobile, making sure, you know, all the joints are loose and mobile. But also after workouts, you want to stretch. So the more you work out, the tighter the muscles will get, and then that will inhibit your form in a lot of these kind of exercises here. So let's go through a couple hip opening exercises and also some mobile stuff for the lower back too. So one of the best ones for the hip that I like is called the frog, and it looks a little goofy, but you're gonna be kind of exactly what a frog kind of looks like. You're gonna kind of placing your body in this position nice and wide and putting the pressure on the inside of the thigh there. So, I know, join me here for a second. Humor me. All right, let's get you in position here. So yeah, nice and wide. Yep, you got it. Yeah, exactly. Here, I'll say that. Yep, nice and wide. Just open your hips up, legs all the way up. So this will stretch the adductors too. I know you're saying you're running a little tight in there, so try to almost like you're doing the splits with the bent, with your knees bent. Yeah, exactly. Then bring yourself down so your forearms are on the floor. Good. Now what you do is go ahead and bring your body forward first. Go ahead and up, like there. Bring your hips low. Perfect. You feel that? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now go ahead and push them back. So all the way back, and nice and wide in the legs. Nice and wide, wide as you can. There we go. Yep. Exactly, and try to flatten that back as much as you can. You feel that? Yeah. So it's gonna be in those adductors that you're kind of feeling some tightness in. So this is exercise, go ahead and move forward too. So it's gonna be kind of back and forth. So slowly move forward, just about there, good, stop. And just kind of, really kind of push the hips forward a bit, right there, good. And then bring it back. So same position, bring it back, nice and slow. So this will help open those hips up. Bring those adductors, making sure they're kind of a little bit looser there so you're not feeling too much tightness as you're squatting low. All right, perfect. All right, so there's another one we can do too. It's called the scorpion. Now this one's a little weird too, but you'll see a lot of athletes do this as they're warming up. And you're gonna just get in the position where you're flat on the floor here. Bring it nice and wide. And you're just gonna bring that foot over here. So try to keep that shoulder down as you bring that leg over, just like so. And then you can alternate back and forth here, and then bring it as far as you can here. So you'll feel immediately in that lower back, and a little bit in that upper body too, as you perform these. Nice and wide, like kissing the floor, good. Now bring one leg over, yep, like a scorpion tail there, good, perfect. So you feel immediately in that lower back, and then go ahead and alternate to the next side. There we go, good, perfect. So we'll just alternate back and forth, about 10 reps each side. There we go. That's nice. Nice controlled breathing. Exhales, you bring that leg up. Good. I'm good, Lewis.
No, Brandon, when would they want to perform these and for how long?
So what you want to do, Lewis, is before you do any kind of heavy movements, you know, this is a little bit more lower body kind of mobility, and this is really simple. This is only 2, and we're going to go over just 2 right now, just to keep it simple. But you'd want to perform these immediately before your workouts. And you probably want to do around 10 to 15 reps on each one. So mobility tends to last probably around 10 to 15 minutes before your workouts. And you would usually have about 3 or 4 different exercises or mobility drills that you would do. So in this case, you would of course only focus on lower body since you were doing lower body. And then of course we do upper body for upper body. So it's pretty quick, you know, and as long as you can do it, you just kind of go through it, loosen it up, and then you're ready to jump on this. But you know, a lot of people recommend also jumping on the treadmill for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. But you don't necessarily have to do that if you're doing mobility drills. So, you know, just doing that full body squats is another nice mobility drill you can do. It's pretty simple. You kind of sit into it. You do about, you know, 10 to 12 reps, maybe even as high as 15 depending on how you feel. But you can really sit into it and pull those legs apart, right? And then you'll feel it in those adductors too. So if you want to do those again, maybe real quick, and we'll kind of see how those adductors are feeling. Yeah, so full squat. Good, yeah. And kind of sit back into it. Yeah, really, I know, see, there you go. Yeah, exactly. So as you'll notice, and let's bring those feet a little closer. So if you want to get in the top position, bring those feet a bit closer, and don't have your toes come out too wide. So do it about a 12 to 15 degree angle, no more than 15 degree angle there. And so when you bring it down, you know, as you push out, don't let your toes go wider, wider, wider. Just that, yep, the femur, there we go. That's it. And then really try to bring that chest up as you do it. So, and this is sometimes difficult too, as the taller you are, the harder it is to get in this position. But again, it's just practice and practice and practice. You know, this is the first day, of course. We're just going over some of the stuff. But just as long as you're doing it constantly, and especially before just jumping into some heavy weights like squats, and then that'll be the most important thing. So we're going to add some weight to this, Lewis, and see how you perform now. Do you want to just start with some maybe 25s? Sure. Yeah. Let's get some collars out just to play it safe. Safety first. All right. So, let's get some weight on you. Good. Right, that trap. Perfect. Right there. Now keep those knees wide as you squat down. Good. Sometimes this weight will actually help you get into position, which is nice. When you're just doing body weight squats, sometimes it's hard to get in position because you really don't have any resistance, but once you do, you can feel like you can actually get in that squat. Okay, so as you're, go ahead, yep. Yeah, perfect. So as you're going up to the top position, getting the full extension, you can see your knees are slightly collapsing a little bit, and that could be due to your not only adductors, but also your glute medius. You know, pulling, so really be conscious of that and really try to externally rotate those legs out or pull those knees nice and wide. So as you press up, knees wide, knees wide, knees, there we go, good. It might feel a little funny, but you immediately should feel a little pressure there, yeah, in your hip section. There we go, good. Now in doing so, you're gonna be always making sure your hip capsule has some torque in it and stabilizing that movement. So when you go heavier and heavier, you're not gonna collapse in and you're not gonna cause any injuries in the long run. So it's really good. Yep, go ahead. Keep those knees wide, wide, wide. There we go. And once you get that full extension, get a little squeeze in those glutes too, because you do want to train the glutes. This section here, you know, your hip section is so important for sports because that's where all your power comes from, as you know. You know, if you're batting, if you're, you know, running, wherever that may be. So this is exactly what you want to do training right now. Yep. Nice and wide, squeeze those glutes, boom, good. All right, let's get 2 more. That's it, keep those knees wide. Last one, wide, wide. There we go, good. Go ahead and rack it. Excellent job, man. Oh yeah. How's it feel?
Good.
How's it feel to squat like a buff dude?
Good.
yeah, right on, man. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the training squat. You know, really simple, just a few things to keep in mind, you know, just to reiterate what we went over. You want to warm up, you want to make sure you do mobility drills for about 10-15 minutes before going anything heavy, especially a big compound movement like squats. And things to keep in mind whenever you squat, keep those knees out, make sure they don't collapse in. You know, of course, a rigid straight back, neutral chin, and you don't want to collapse your chest in here and have any flexion in the thorax here, or in the thoracic spine, excuse me. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You did good, man. Definitely a natural, and looking forward to getting into the bulking series with you. But before that, we're gonna be going over 4 other big compound movements because we're gonna be covering the Golden 5. So we still got bench press left, we still got deadlifts, we still got pull-ups or bend over rows and overhead presses. So we're looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us, Lewis.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Until next time, stay buff. Yeah.